Agent Romanoff. You miss me?
Oh yeah, Charles, we got ourselves an X-Men fan.
Captain.
Your Highness.
Captain, big fan, Spider-Man. Hey everyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Film Artsy, your #1 source for all things films and movies. And in a recent interview, we have more information towards a cut version of Avengers Endgame that didn't quite make it into the final theatrical release of the film, that could have ended up making things look way more gruesome in the final fight than what we actually saw. And this deleted special effect, or special CGI animation, or deleted scene, whatever you want to call it, really would have changed the overall appearance of one of the characters. Let's talk about it. So as you guys know, in the final moments of the battle for all of life in the universe, we see Tony Stark wrestle away the stones, snap his finger, and save the day. Now, of course, that was going to be a sacrifice no matter what in this film. However, there were a lot of different design choices that was conceived for the look of Tony Stark after he saves everyone. And if you look at this specific picture here, you can see what one of the designs looked like, the one we saw in the actual film. However, apparently during the process of making this scene, with all of the post-production that obviously goes into these movies, there were a lot of different designs that were added and made for Tony Stark's face so that they could choose which special effect would best represent Tony Stark and the tone that the directors wanted and the severity of the damage of his sacrifice in this shot. Now, what's really interesting is we're getting more information about this scene and how they had to select very different versions of what damage was received by Tony Stark, and a lot of the damage was considered to be maybe too much for what they were looking for, and had some concepts that would have Tony Stark's face either completely charred in one way or another, all the way to him having a face resembling much of Two-Face from Batman The Dark Knight, which would have been pretty horrifying to see. And maybe that's why they decided at that point they didn't think it would fit tonally into the rest of the movie and went down the route that they did. Now, one thing that would have been interesting if they would have gone for the more charred appearance, a little bit more burnt than what we actually see in the movie, it would have been a really interesting contrast to what we see of Thanos at the beginning of Avengers Endgame. And maybe that was something that we're speculating was originally intended. However, maybe it was just too much for audiences and they didn't want to kind of make this already emotional scene even harder on maybe younger audiences that really enjoy these movies. So they just went with what they went with. However, it would have been really interesting if you think about it when you see Thanos for the first time in Endgame versus how you see Tony Stark for the last time in Endgame as well. But we wanted to now turn it around to you guys. Would you have liked to see these other versions? Apparently they had made well over a dozen different mock-ups of what his damage to his face could have looked like. So we'd really like to know what you guys think. So leave a comment down below if you guys would have preferred a different version, or you think the right version that was in the movie is the one that is the best. And be sure to subscribe with notifications on for more videos like this. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys.
I'm about to.
Hi everybody.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Hi.
See you guys.
Know anybody?